Well, this morning, CPS crews from San Antonio are working in the Key West to help restore power for thousands of people who lost electricity after Hurricane Irma.
Yeah, Key West was hammered. Joining us now to talk about what the crews are doing, why they decided to help out, Rudy Garza, the Senior Vice President of Distribution and Operation at CPS Energy. Thanks for coming in, Rudy.
Thanks for having us.
And we also have on the phone from Florida, Eric Fassett, the Director of Construction and Maintenance. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. Okay, so let's start out with Eric real quickly. You want to give us an idea of what it's like down there right now in the Key West?
Well, basically, we left Jacksonville, went 500 miles south, basically to the southernmost tip of Florida. Really weren't prepared for what we came across. I've been to several, actually 4 hurricane deployments in my career, and this is totally just blows me away. We haven't seen this type of destruction anywhere in any of the jobs that we've been to, any of the actual deployments that we've been to. So most of our stuff back in Jacksonville was smaller pockets of just getting a few customers on here, more tree issues. This is just total wind devastation. We have poles, wood poles, concrete poles, snapped like toothpicks. The town are finally starting to recover. We're having a lot of the residents are finally starting to come back in, but basically everything's closed.
And you're seeing homes literally blown apart down there, aren't you?
Yeah, homes, boats, everything you can imagine. I mean, there's still 13 days after landfall, there's still cars on the side of the road flipped over. There's boats in the middle of the road. There's still primary down, poles down, transformers down that we haven't even gotten to yet. So we tried to get an estimate from Keys Utilities. The number's probably about 7,000 right now. We're knocking it out. Day by day, we're getting it back on, but they really haven't got a hold of the actual outages due to the severity of all the primary and everything that's actually down.
And Rudy, back here at home, I mean, what did it take to coordinate this kind of effort? How many crews do you have out there?
So we've got a total of 6 overhead crews and then another 3 pole operator crews that are actually deployed to South Florida. You know, it is roughly 58 people. We also send mechanics in case our trucks have issues and safety personnel to make sure that we're following our safety protocols.
What's your big concern when you send, you got 58 guys down there, you got to be worried about them. You don't know what they're going into, really.
Yeah, CPS Energy takes a very thoughtful approach to how we provide assistance. There's 2,200 public power companies across the United States. Typically, you'll see us along the eastern seaboard is where, you know, Houston, we were down in Victoria when Hurricane Harvey hit here.
And you were telling me that you were in Jacksonville last year.
We were.
So you're familiar with the area. Did you end up sending the same crews again?
No, ma'am. Every deployment really is different. You know, like the crew that went to Victoria was a different set of employees than the crew we sent out to Jacksonville.
Eric, give us some kind of idea. What kind of hours you're working down there? Is it around the clock kind of thing?
Well, what we have the guys working is we're working 15-hour days. So we start off at 6. We go to our staging area. They feed us there. Then we have to go to actually our area where our trucks are parked, which is about 10 miles away. So little logistics issues going back and forth. The work, we're actually down at the end of the Keys, so our work is actually back toward Florida. So we travel about 35 miles every day to and from work, just to put us in the area where the most devastation is at. So a few challenges there. We're getting it done.
Rudy, and one last question. When do you think they're going to be back home?
I would expect probably towards the end of this, maybe to the middle of next week. Typically, our crews will work anywhere from 15, no more than 21 days on any deployment, and we're kind of getting up on that. We're about 10 days in. We've got another maybe 5 days of work, and then our crews will head home. So I would expect by Tuesday of next week, our crews will probably be heading back.
Hopefully back home safely.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rudy Garza and Eric Fassett with CPS. Thanks for joining us this morning.